All right, shalom, shalom. All right. God. All right, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor. Trying to charge in my thing. Shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started, all right, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akyam that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. And shalom to all you sincere Akyam and Akwat that's out there as well. Back at it again. You know, prophecy is hot. You know, it's a lot of stuff happening in the world. There's a lot of information coming out. There's a lot of things that are pending. There's a lot of questions. But we're exactly where the Lord needs this place to be. All right. Matter of fact, the scriptures speak about, let me get that actually. Bear me 1 second, let me pull up the scripture. Yep. This is Isaiah 47:1. And it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughters of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." You hear that? Let's get some more in that. Let's see what's there in the blue letter for dust. So Isaiah 47. I'm gonna use this as long as I can. It's not working with my charger, so it is what it is, but hey, we're gonna keep it going. All right. Oh, I see what happened there. There we go. So I can. All right. Let's pull up this precept. Come on now. Isaiah 47, right? Come on now. All right. Looks like it's Apara, if I'm saying that correctly. I'm not too good with the Assyrian. Means dry earth, dust, powder, ash, earth, ground, mortar, rubbish, mortar, all right, powder, all right. Let's see if we can get some more on this. Let's see. Yep, so AI definition of sitting in the dust is described as, okay, there we go. As sit in the dust is a phrase particularly found in the Bible that symbolizes humiliation, mourning, and a dramatic fall from from power or prestige. It signifies a downward trajectory from a position of authority to one of submission and lowliness. Right. Let's see what the Bible Hubs has to say about that. Let's see. All right, let's see what it says. Just quick. I'm just doing a search with you. So yeah, basically it says this is whatever. He's just working out, nigga. All right, the virgin daughter of Babylon, i.e. Babylon itself personified as till now unconquered, and is called to leave her throne and sit in the dust as a medial slave. Tender, better, perform wanton, and delicate points to the luxury which has been identified with Babylon, which was now to cease. Yes, all of that daintiness of America is coming to naught. Let's read that again. Isaiah 47:1. And it says, come down and sit in the dust. So the coming down is basically like they're saying from that authoritative position. Matter of fact, let's get that in, let's open up another window. All right. Like I said, my tablet barely got some charge, so we're gonna hit these scriptures as fast as possible and go from there. Was that Revelation? You go to Revelation through 17. All right. Yeah, let's just read this real quick, see where it goes. Revelation 17:3. All right, Revelation 17:1, and it says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, and I will shew thee the judgments of the great whore that sat upon many waters. So the whore, now as much as America is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon the Great, as you just explained, untouched. This America's is an untouched place. This place has never been attacked. The only attack you can pull out of American history of a foreign power attacking American soil is Pearl Harbor, right? Or 9/11, right? Which these were considered T attacks, which were, if you go deeper into it, were basically orchestrated by the bankers and the elitists, all right? But overall, there has not been a conflict, of a Chinese conflict in America, or an African conflict in America, or an East Indian conflict in America. This place is untouched, okay? But that untouching is prophesied to come to an end. And we're in that time. You know, we're in that time. You know, these so-called white people are losing their wits about themselves right in front of us. They're online, they're pissed off, they're scared. They feel like the only thing that they have to lean on is white supremacy or white racism or whatever they think they're leaning on. And nobody believes you. They have been demoted to talking shit online behind burner accounts, and then using these children to basically speak on their behalf. All right, your Nick Fuentes or whoever these devils are, you know, your Ben Sparrows. These are young men, man. All right, these are little boys in the grand scheme of who's supposed to be really leading the charge as far as quote unquote leading you so-called white men, women, and children to the glory. You're through. It's okay. All right. But as the scriptures say, this is not a time to gloat. This is when you start seeing a dog being pushed in a corner. They're going to have to attack. They're going to have to get carnal. All right. You so-called white men, especially you white men, because you're in the biggest trick bag. See, even with us Israelite men, we have to battle the carnality of our women and keeping that in check, because women by nature are more carnal. They see you as a man and they expect you to defend not only your glory or your honor, but the family's glory and honor, her glory and honor, and so on and so forth. All right. Same with these so-called white men. You so-called white men are about to be punked by your women in a way that you don't really understand yet. All right. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to Job 20. Damn tablet. As long as it keeps some battery, I don't care. I don't know, got to charge through. All right, it is what it is. I'm not gonna complicate this. This is Job 20, and is that Job 20? Maybe not. Hold on. Job 27. This is Job 27 and 13. All right, and it reads, "This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the heritage of oppressors." Who's our oppressor? It doesn't take rocket science to know who our oppressor is. You know, now here is the kicker. Like, that's why the scriptures say that we are prophets unto the nations. Now, you have a thing now where so-called white people are actually complaining about being oppressed. I'm not going to overlook it and act as if they aren't. They are. But we are not your oppressors. See, who are your oppressors, white people? Other white people. And they're starting to wake up to the fact that it's the little hats are your oppressors. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Come close to the phone. They're Edomites too. You're just different tribes of Edomites. I hope that helps. The little hats and you American whites and you French whites and you German whites, you're all Edomites. All right? That's the truth. So you and your people are directly our oppressors. All right? You hate to hear it, but we're not oppressing you. Okay? Now, so again, it says here, Job 27 and 13, this is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Who's the wicked? Esau, you Edomites. You're the wicked. The heritage. What is a heritage? Let's look up that word. Because y'all love to pick and choose which parts of heritage, which parts are your heritage. All right? What the hell? What the hell-y? Let's see what heritage, the etymon of that word is. All right, heritage, that which may be inherited. All right, your inheritance. Ancestral estate, heirloom, your heredity. All right, so the conditions of state transmitted from your ancestors. You understand that? So this is your heritage. See, you all like to make the arguments that, you know, this is your heritage and blase blase. No, your heritage is, and in fact, let's get that. I don't got all these windows open, so forgive me. What is that? John 10. All right, John 10 and 10. And it says, the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that thou might have life and that they may have it more abundantly. All right. Again, it says the thief. Who's the thief? The devil, Esau. You're the wicked. And what have you done? You've done nothing but steal and kill and destroy. Who is they love their per capita. Well, when you go and you ask ChatGPT per capita, who is the biggest murderer in history, ChatGPT will tell you that it's you so-called white people. All right, a little distracted. All right. Slakia 144. All right. Who is the theft? Who steals? Who steals your heritage? Who steals your Shit, this motherfucker steals our energy. He steals our creativity. He steals any and everything that he possibly can. All right, and destroy. Who has destroyed the earth? Who is the reason why pollen counts are through the roof? Who? Who is genetically modifying pollen? Who is genetically modifying foods? Who is genetically modifying everything that you could think of under the sun? Who is that? All right. Who, you gonna put that on the Hawaiians? You gonna put that on the East Indians? You gonna put that on the Arabs? All right. See, that's the kicker. I'm so like, I'm a little distracted. I'm sitting in front of my house. All right. You know, it says, I am come that they might have life and that they may have it more abundantly. All right. The Lord is coming to give us more life because, as the scriptures say, as the Lord said, that if the days weren't shortened, there would be no flesh left to be saved. Who is the one that's in control of no flesh being saved? See, these white people are trying to play the victim in such a way that the Lord's not trying to hear that. The Lord is not going to hear that shit from you. He created you to be the liar, the killer, the stealer, everything. We're not surprised. See, us here, us men in the truth of this doctrine, of this understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're not surprised by you. That's why we're telling you what you're going to do before you do it. We understand you very well, Esau. All right. So again, who is that? Who is in control of that? The Lord has to come back and shorten up the days, because if the days were regular, there'd be no flesh left to be saved. That's us murdering each other. Like that's that's so-called black men murdering each other is the reason why there would be no flesh left on the planet Earth. Who's feeding us junk food? And I'm not talking about popcorn and ice cream. I'm talking about literally poisoning us. Oh, who is poisoning our food? I can barely afford to buy food, let alone poisoning millions and millions of people's foods. Who is that? Who is the reason why the money is fucked up? Niggas in PPP loans? All right. So again, that dust, Job 27 and 13 again. And it says, or 14, and it says, if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. What does that mean? The Most High is literally filling this place up with you devils just to slaughter you. That's really just that simple. Just to slaughter you. And like we've been saying for years, when it's all said and done, when this place really collapses, you're going to know that this is the devil that the Bible is speaking of. See, a big portion of this right now is that you people haven't seen how big of you are gaslit and being deceived and lied to into believing that he's a so-called white man and these Edomites are your neighborhood friendly guys. They are about to bring great wrath upon you and me and our families and our mothers and our grandparents and our fathers and our grandchildren. Everybody, he's about to bring great wrath. You're going to see. And I think it's beautiful. I find the Trump administration beautiful because there's nobody else to blame. There's no multicultural woman in office. There's no brown man in office. This is a good old-fashioned Edomite. And it couldn't have been a better. Really the king of New York. Who's more New Yorker? Who is more of a face of New York than Donald Trump? He is the Empire, the prince of the Empire State Building, the king of the Empire State, excuse me. Who's more New York? If you think about the idea of the top New Yorkers, your mind, only person that you could arguably say to me that I'll accept without no argument is probably Frank Sinatra. As the face of New York. Trump has been the face of New York for 30, 40 years at this point. And he's the perfect guy for this. So when all this shit hits the fan and y'all looking for somebody to blame your own fucking red pale asses. That's what it's coming down to. Come down and sit in the dust, old virgin daughters of Babylon. Sit in this low state. Because your time is up. All right? And it says, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Yeah. You so-called white people, there's no satisfaction for you anymore. This kingdom is cooked. Your college, you're going to college, it doesn't work for you anymore. Who cares? Like, really, what is a college degree in the next 5 to 10 years? AI is taking over. All right? This money is cooked. You got white people, listen, you got white people living in the hood now. All right? Where I'm at is like a mid-tier level hood right now. And you know, it's not, it ain't, it could be worse, but it could be better. But I'm thankful because I just moved back across the country and I'm just getting back on my feet. But nevertheless, sitting in this position, oh, man, it's all kind of, I live in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta. And there's all kind of white people walking their dogs in my neighborhood. I'm like, oh shit, what the hell are you doing over here? Oh shit, what is you doing over here? Oh, okay. The bread's not satisfying you anymore. The money ain't money in it, as they say anymore. It ain't adding up. Okay? And it says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. These so-called white women, I love this scripture because we're really witnessing it. You so-called, you Edomite men, you do have it rough. Take a step back. Take your own emotions out of it. Remember, the scriptures say we are prophets unto the nations. We are looking at a nation and we have to take ourselves out of our own emotions, out of our own feelings, and really look at him and tell me you don't feel sorry for these so-called white people. I'm not saying sorry in a point of literally, you know, putting your guard down. Fuck them. But what I'm speaking to is, and when you look at their position and where it's heading to in the forecast, if you're forecasting them, you can see like, yeah, y'all are through. Matter of fact, let me get that. And I didn't finish this, but in Revelation 17, when it speaks about the whore that sat upon the beast, the whore is America. It sits in a high position above everything, even its own allies. Okay, giving 1 hour with the beast. All right, giving its power unto the whore and so on and so forth and whatnot. That is all a higher position. But this place is crumbling and falling. All right, it doesn't hold the same position that it once did. All right, I forgot the scripture I was going to get. It's all good. Let's go back to this Job 27. All right. But yeah, your widows aren't feeling sorry for you anymore. Go online and see what I'm talking about. See how filthy it gets on X or Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. See how these white women talk. I always say this. We are in our curses. That's what I was going to get. I'm going to pull this up. We are in our position of curses. The Negro, Latino, Native American man, specifically the Israelite man and woman, are under curses. And one of those curses is what? That the man shall have an evil eye against his wife and his children, and the woman shall have an evil eye against her husband and her children. That's a curse that's literally on us. You so-called white people, y'all hate each other with no curses. Tell me I'm lying. You so-called, I can go on TikTok, Facebook, I can go on IG, I can go on all these sites. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of so-called black women that buy into this feminist deception of hating men that push that energy and vibration on the earth. We're not ignoring that. But I tell you what, you can still find black women online that are talk about how much they need black men, how important black men are, how they don't mind submitting to a black man. That's not hard to find. All right. Black women will make posts. Black men, you're our kings. You're our fathers. You're our brothers. We need you. You'll find these posts. Please show me a post online of white women, white men. We need you. We desire you. You are our leaders. You're our fathers. You're our brothers. You are the hope that we need. We need you to be in that. Yeah, the man that prints the money is in debt. Yeah, he's falling in his own trap. Matter of fact, let me get that. What is that, Psalms? Is that Psalm 17? I haven't pulled this in a minute. Let's see, I'm tripping. I know it's in the Psalms early chapters. Yep, I said 17, Psalm 7. Psalm 7 and 5. Is that it? Psalm 7 and 5. 15, I'm getting old. Psalm 7 and 15, and it says, he made a pit and dig it, and is fallen in the pit which he made. I'm gonna read that again. He made a pit. Now we understand that what is the pit? The word system goes into a pit. So he made a system. He created this system. And that's forced poverty. That's governmental programs. That's redlining. That's inflation. You name it. This devil created all these things to what? Keep us so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men defeated. But those same things that he used to defeat us are now defeating him. That's why I said, don't take what I said earlier about, I don't feel no fucking sorry. There's a difference in having, feeling sorry for somebody in a, damn, this is sad, you know? But that doesn't mean like I'm going out of my way to help, man. Fuck these people. But the statement of seeing and looking at him like, this is a base man, and he's basically fumbling. We're witnessing his train crash right before our eyes, but his pride won't allow him. So that's okay. That's part of the show. But nevertheless, it's like, yeah, you so-called white people are being oppressed by other white people, of course. We're being oppressed by you and those white people that are oppressing you. But you are being oppressed. I will give you that. Because you're now falling in your own pit. You're now being affected by your own unemployment bullshit. Remember, they were always moving the goalposts with us. See, it used to be a time where a white man's high school diploma was more valuable than a black man's college degree. But now a white man's college degree is worthless. Now your credit score is worthless. Remember, all of these things were created. See, you so-called white people, which again, you're bases of people. You're not thinkers. Some of you are, but the majority of you aren't. All right. Credit scores was not something until damn near the late 80s, early 90s. And what do you think it was used to? To make people that look like me and you, all right, not be able to have the ability to go purchase homes, get business loans, so on and so forth. But now that shit's working against you. He made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made. You're falling in your own hole. The hole that you created for us is now affecting you, white man, woman, and child, which is biblically known as the Edomites. You've been trying to fuck us over so long that you are now being fucked over by your own fucked up ways. And it's eating you alive. It's destroying you. That's why I say, as this place crumbles more and falls and gets more beat up, you so-called white men and women and children are going to start unaliving yourselves in ways that we have not seen. Stay away from these so-called white people. That's my advice to you. Scriptures say, what communion does light and darkness have? We are the children of light. They are the children of darkness. The scriptures say, though join hand to hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. This is the time where we're supposed to really be forsaking these devils, calling them out, pointing them out, letting the Lord knows that we see these devils. But a lot of you so-called niggas that want to work, that are stuck on your jobs, that musteth live around these white people, that musteth be around them, have your kids go to their schools. Because, like, listen, I'd rather my children go to ghetto schools with black people and deal with black problems than go to your white schools and deal with your white problems. See, your teachers, your lawyers, your doctors, all that shit, y'all are about to start unaliving yourself and going postal. See, we don't hear these terms no more, but that's what's about to happen. Big case here in Atlanta for all my brothers that are in the region. There was a massage parlor in Buckhead, and this so-called white guy went to the massage parlors. Y'all know these Chinese massage parlors and what be going on in there. So he went in there, and he went to several of those Chinese massage parlors in the region, and he shot it all up. Why do you think that happened? Why do you think he went to those and shot them up? I had to explain this to my rib because she, sometimes women be simple with stuff. I said, you got to understand, these men, especially these white men, because imagine being a white, this is how sick it is. When I say the word incel, who do you think of? Who's the first person that comes into mind when you hear the term incel? Is it a white man? Is it a black man? Is it an Asian man? Arab man? What is the, look at it. I just typed in incel. See if you can see this on Google. Okay? I know that reflection is nasty, but I'm just making a point. You see, this is what Google has come up for all the white, all I typed in was incel. If you're familiar with this guy, y'all familiar? Y'all remember this guy? I know the reflection is bad. Y'all remember him? Involuntary celibacy. Imagine being in your kingdom. This is your kingdom. You think any Israelite young man or boy is going to not, involuntary and celibacy, meaning that you're celibate not according to your own desire or your own choices, but because the opposite sex deems you undesirable? Imagine that. Like, this is what we're talking about here. You got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, being honest, of white men that only time they get a release from their body is if it's done by them or they pay for it. And that's why the situation with the massage stores, the Chinese massage therapists or whatever you call them, getting shot up because he had enough. Same thing with this guy. I think he was in Arizona, this guy, and he was tired of the way women were treating him. And he had never dealt with a woman. So he went and killed, I think, several women at an Arizona college. And we are around millions of white people like this. When you think about these statistics, this manosphere, Roli Talesi, that's why, again, through the spirit, we've been saying for years, and I've been telling brothers here, don't intertwine all. I see where brothers try to, but that whole, the Bible is the most red pill book there is. No, it's not. The Bible is the most spiritual book it is. The red pill community takes parts of this, But that does not mean that we have anything to do with it. We do not have nothing to do with the red pill society, because a lot of you guys, you in the manosphere red pill community, you're going to start getting blamed for this bullshit. Because pressure is building up. I know I'm rambling, but I've already hit a lot of scriptures. We're dealing with it, the times at hand, what we're dealing with as a society, what's going on around you and me, our women, our children. It says an incel, incel are heterosexual men who blame women and society for a lack of romance success. See, here, the kicker is with us in this walk. We're not blaming women for our lack. Listen, I'll say it like this, right? Respectfully. I don't lack in the romantic department, you know? And I'm just keeping it PG for the sake of this, but I even have to explain to my own rib, because women don't comprehend this type of thought process here. Your woman doesn't understand this. Your women do not, because women see the world through their lenses, which is okay, understandable. I get it. Women see the world through, if I can go out here any day of the week and have a man have sex with me. What do you mean, you as a man? They don't grasp that the work that it takes for a man to go out and to court a woman and to impress a woman, to the ability for her to open them legs up for you. You understand? So we live in a society where a lot of men are incels, involuntary celibates. You didn't even decide to be celibate. Life decided that you're celibate. And on top of not getting no pussy, you got to pay all these goddamn bills with nothing to show for it. You got to work. You got to get up at 3, 4 in the morning to go to a job that doesn't respect you, to make money, to so-called, that they told you that if you go get a job, you go get a wife, that doesn't happen. You understand? White people are losing. Let's get that Deuteronomy 30:7. And it says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and of them that hate thee, which persecute thee. So again, you so-called white people, you're our enemy. You've been our enemy. The only issue is our people don't recognize it yet. You've always known this. But when the chess pieces start to move and they're not moving in your favor, that's when you're going to start crashing out. Because you don't play fair. So-called white man does not play fair. All right? So again, I didn't even have didn't think that this is where it would lead to, as far as incels and this culture, but we live in a world or surrounded by incels. Like I said, when you think about this subject matter, let's look up some of these statistics. How many men in America are virgins? Are virgins. Somehow are virgins. Let's see. TheUnusualWells.com. Young male virginity is on the rise. So you had a statistic come out a few weeks ago that said that for the first time ever since they've been keeping these stats, that women over 40 are having more children than teen pregnancies. That's the first time ever. And in this article, they're saying young male virginity is on the rise. This speaks to the caliber, the quality, this position, the strength of young men in the society. Young male virginity is on the rise per WAPA. It'll probably be a pretty good proxy for virginity, but it will underestimate its some. According to the U.S. Census, about half of men are not virgins at 18. But per data psychology, 50.52% of men between 18 and 20 are virgins. For men over 25 but not older than 30, only 1.9 are virgins. How do you think they lost their virginity? This speaks to the decaying and the downfall of Babylon, of America. All right. How do you think this goes right back to the white guy that I was saying that shut up the massage parlor? Most men are not attracting a woman to his house, to himself, that likes him, wants him, desires him. They're paying for it. They're paying for it. Is there something wrong? Is it biblically off to have to pay for prostitutes? No, it's not. But that should not have to be your go-to. That shouldn't have to be. That shouldn't be your, that's your only desire is that, okay, I make a little money. Come Friday, I'm gonna go down to the stroll and try to pay for a prostitute. Why? When you're just a lot of handsome young men, beautiful young men, strong young men, full of vigor young men. Additionally, the virginity statistic is driven by youth. We don't see an increase in extended male virginity between 2018 and 21, although we did see an uptick between 2014 and 2020 and 2018. Past age 25, very few men remain virgins. Why? Because they pay for it. They pay for it. The question uses in the GSS that has been interpreted as virginity probably overestimates it a little bit. Additionally, the small number of young males in the GCC contribute to the high variety across years. All right, let's see. Newsweekly. This article came out this year, January 28th of this year. All right, and it reads, the number of young adult virgins in America hit an all-time high in 2023 as a record number of both men and women between 22 and 34. They had never had sex. The study conducted by now, this is what I'm saying. Who do you think is this number? Do you think this is our people? Do you think this is a great number of this statistic is you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans? You know how bugged out of a man you gotta be as to be an Israelite man to really like not get no like energy in that regard? Think about that. You gotta be a real bugged out Israelite to fall into these categories. Now our generation, from talking to older men, you notice we don't have as much encounters sexually as said Gen X or boomer men or silent generation men. Go listen to Judge Joe Brown. He spoke about this a while back. He said, man, I'm not gonna do it for the time of this. But Judge Joe Brown spoke on this. It used to be nothing for them to have. You saw some older men, their numbers, the average, it's an old man in the hood right now. Over the 60, it's probably had sex with 500-600 women. That was the norm. That's not the case with us now, because of the social media, the social media hypergamous world that we live in. Things are just moving at a different pace. We're not living life like how they did. It's just the way it is. All right, so where we at? So let's go back to this Isaiah 47:1 again. And it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughters of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. You're not looked at as the driving factor or force in the world anymore. Your time is up. That's it. You're not looked at as if you're the great white hype anymore. You had your time. You just don't know that your time is up. All right? So now you got to come from that position of high and mighty and sit your ass down in this dirt. And you think your woman is going to go for that? No. That's why that woman said they're not going to weep for you. They're not going to mourn for you. See, when you hear all these talking points about, you know, the Richard Cooper, you know, these different manosphere talking heads, you know, the fact of women don't care about your struggles. They wait at the finish line and fuck the winner. These talking points. See, white women are the most carnal of women. Yeah, I can't stand Eve. I can't stand our women, but I'm not going, you know, I'm not going to put things on them that's not true. The so-called white woman is by far the most carnal beast of women. She's carnal. So when these white men start losing, that's the point of what I'm getting to. When she starts to feel like they're losing and they're losing the fight and they're not standing up and you're not stepping up to the challenge, she's going to forsake you and she's going to humiliate you. She's going to talk down on you. She's going to shame you. That's why I said, y'all haven't even begun to experience having these curses on you like that. Y'all just hate each other for natural reasons because of carnality. All right. Let's see. I had no plans of literally going into this whole incel thing. It says, let's read a little bit more of this. The ADL, and it says, a subset of online misogynistic manosphere that includes pickup artists and men's rights activists. Incels are known. Now, here's the kicker. Incels are known. You have the red pill community. You have the blue pill community. You have other pills. This is not the red pill. Incels are a part of the black pill community. That's basically your nihilist. Look it up. Red pill to black pill. This is this article. Yeah, the ultimate cuck is who? Yeah, the so-called white man. All of this is about to be brought into his face, and it's going to shame him because he doesn't have it. That's why I said it's like they go online and they only are able to talk shit behind burner accounts with VPNs in their basement with VPNs on, talking shit about us. But they're so-called, their wives know what time it is. They hear their damn niggers. And then she's like, yeah, but you a bitch. But you're weak. But you won't say it in their face. Their woman is seeing this. Their children is seeing this. Listen. So red pill to black pill. I'm not going to read all of this. But it says, beginning around 2016, misogynist incel forms begin to shift from a red pill to an increased black pill mentality. The belief system accepts the red pill view of society dominated by women, but rejects the individual level attempts such as learning game to achieve a sexual relationship with women as misguided. Asserts that only change at societal levels has the possibility to be effective. Black pill adherents believe that looks are genetically determined and that women choose sexual partners based on physical features. Right, because the society is very much so carnal. That's why I said this society is the ultimate carnal society. If you don't look the part, if you don't walk the part, if you don't have the money, all of these things go into determining your value in the eyes of this society. Same thing with women. If you're not shaped a certain way, nobody gives a fuck about what you got, how your creativity, your charismaticness, your ability to raise children, take care of a home. Nobody cares about that shit in the society. If you don't look like your favorite Instagram slut, you're out of luck. All right. So again, this ideology, what we're witnessing is a lot of angry individuals. All right. So back to this article. The study conducted by the National Survey of Family Growth among people of all sexuality found that the proportion of male virgins in age groups rose from 4% in 2013 to 2015 to 10% in 2022 and 2023. And this is where you start to get all of the what? Your TikTok talking points. I won't talk to a man unless he make $200,000 a month. A man gotta have 15 inches of dick in his pocket, in his pants, right? A man gotta have $15 million in his pocket right now. A man gotta be 7'4" to talk to me. That energy has been being pushed online, and it's affecting the way that men view the world, the way men have value in themselves. Because you got to remember, the scriptures say that a man's glory is the woman. But we're in hell. We're in captivity, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man. But so what about the white man? What about the so-called white man? Is his glory not his woman? Absolutely. But what do you think is happening? The Lord is destroying all the little bit of connection that they did have. That's why when you go online, that's why this white woman in Minnesota is the face of white supremacy right now for calling that Somalian kid a nigga. I just seen on Pierre Morgan, there was a white woman standing up for white racists. Who do you think is these people? The women are standing bold. These white men are a bunch of cuck faggots. They have no fight in them. There are more virgin men between these ages than there are women. And you don't think that that's a problem? Our women, the women of the society, have sex like men are supposed to have sex. A man's supposed to just be able to go out and about. If he want to go get some pussy, be able to. What do you think these women are? These men are at home buying up all kind of, this is why this devil is pushing for all this sex technology, sex toys, sex robots, because all of this is cooked. This is one of the biggest factors and signs of a cooked society. That's why I'm always on this subject matter in my own time and so on and so forth, because this is your connection. This is your connection between men and women and family building. Families are not being built anymore because the scriptures tell us in Amos 7 that your women shall be whores in the streets. This is Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots. These women are harlots out here. And the men are virgins. Imagine that. And you think these white men are just going to sit back in their respective parts of the country and be cool with all these Africans, immigrants, these, you name it, all right? These women, white women are getting with everybody but white men, and white men are getting with everybody but white women. And you think that that's how to keep a nation strong? What's that said? A nation can go only but as far as their women are. Well, look at this so-called white woman. It's easy to talk shit about black women. Look at these white women. These white women are blue armpit, abortion loving. I mean, I could keep going, but just think about it. This is his women. Our women are shot too. Our women have been destroyed mentally by this devil. That's another part of this pit. The things that he did to affect us is now affecting him. Your women are cooked and they don't want you. You made it where our women didn't want us. That's why when you go back into when interracial marriage laws were passed, and I'm gonna close up here. When interracial marriage laws were passed, going back to civil rights eras and shit like that, right? The biggest participants in it, this is what it was passed for, was for white men to be able to be with black women. That's why when you go on Twitter, which is now X, nobody has a problem with white men being with black women, and nobody has a problem with black women being with white men. But let that white woman be with a black man and see how much violence ensues online. By black women that only date white men. You see? You a black woman, you could do that shit. You a white man, you could do that shit. You a black man and you start fucking these white women, oh, you are out of order. You're a white woman and you let the black man, oh, she can never come back home. Do you see this? Why? Because the average white man is not having sex at all. All right. Hey, so with that, I'm going to close this up. I'm getting a little hot. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwada.